From child actors growing up too fast, to stars getting blacklisted in Hollywood, these are celebrities who have been absolutely ruined by the media. It all started with Britney Spears in the early 2000s. We've all heard some of her pop songs, like Toxic and Oops, I Did It Again. But what we didn't know was about the hordes of paparazzi invading her personal space. Most of them tried snapping photos of her at her worst moments, and from unflattering angles. But back in 2006, things went too far. One very controversial divorce, a death in the family, and a trip to the rehab center led her to visit the nearest hairdresser. And she shaved her head. This event went down in history as one of the most talked about crazy Britney moments ever. The public mental breakdown opened the door to even more criticism and gossip about the superstar. The tabloids labeled her as crazy, mentally ill, a terrible mother, promiscuous, and a lot more hurtful words that you wouldn't find in a dictionary. She then entered her conservatorship in 2008. If you don't know what that is, a conservatorship is a court order that appoints someone to oversee the financial affairs of a minor or a person who is incapacitated. Thank you, Google. This lasted for over a decade. You probably grew up with the hashtag #FreeBritney circulating on social media. Now you know what she needed to be free from. Luckily, the conservatorship ended, and Spears is now happily married to her husband. But not every star was fortunate enough to break free from the shackles of the media. Marilyn Monroe's popularity in the 1950s and early 1960s made her vulnerable to the press. She became known as the blonde bombshell. And with a title like that, you just know things won't end well. People tried digging into her personal life and offered zero breathing room. She was subjected to a lot of objectifying and sexualizing by the public. And there's actually a movie of her life, starring Ana de Armas. But I wouldn't really suggest it because of its controversy. I'd put Ana on this list because the criticism she got for starring in that movie kinda ruined her career. Like, no one is a fan of hers anymore. People are that mad. Now, Monroe was constantly targeted in ways that even I'm uncomfortable talking about. At the age of 36, she was found dead due to an overdose. Even then, the press showed up to take pictures of the body, just to dehumanize some more as some sort of sex symbol. Goes to show how bad the media can get. Marilyn's fate has been similar to many other artists. This next one, for example, has had a very tragic career. Amy Winehouse had the voice of an angel and was going to be one of the greatest musicians of all time. All she needed was a little more time, something she wasn't going to be able to get from the public. You see, she suffered from bipolar disorder and drug addiction. The media decided to focus on her bad side rather than the good. Mean comments and questions about her substance use, troubled marriage, and weight had become the norm. And trust me, if someone had said the stuff they asked Winehouse back then, they'd be canceled within a day. It'd be like Zoe Kravitz all over again. Amy's go-to intoxicants were alcohol and marijuana. Pretty normal, right? Not that I condone any drugs. Stay in school, kids. Taking these two intensified when she fell in love with Blake Fielder Civil. This man was a user of cocaine, heroin, and ketamine. It was as if Jane Margulis met her Jesse Pinkman. Her 2006 album, Back to Black, was a critically acclaimed success, but with fame and fortune came more media attention. Winehouse ended up being known as London's cautionary tale for broken and troubled youth. Kind of uncalled for, don't you think? In her documentary titled Amy, it was revealed that her father used to exploit her for fortune. Her struggles were his main source of income throughout her career. This was, of course, until she died of alcohol poisoning at the age of 27. Okay, I admit this video has been really disappointing so far, but it just proves to show how ruthless media exposure can be. I wish there were funny stories to tell, but there are so few. Maybe this next one might be a little lighthearted. Miley Cyrus is known for her Disney show, Hannah Montana. The tabloids went wild when the 15-year-old did a shoot for the cover of Vanity Fair magazine, and all she wore was a single white sheet. The public, adults in particular, were furious and called her a bad influence on children. As she grew older and out of the Disney phase, she built her personality around this new and improved image of herself. But the media kept making fun of her because no one took her seriously. They resorted to parodying her haircut, body shaming her, and all sorts of mean things. When revisiting her Vanity Fair shoot, Miley talked about the backlash she received. She asked why adults were circulating photos like that from when she was a minor. Pretty good point, don't you think? But doesn't she know that this stuff is so common in Hollywood? I really don't want to get into details about that, though. Sorry. And let's talk about the creeps of the industry in another video. It all took a turn when news about her relationship with Liam Hemsworth surfaced. It was like that one time Moses split the sea into two. Some people became her fans and supported her, while others continued to badmouth her because, well, I still don't get why. Disney stars have never had it easy. Cyrus and this next person aren't so different in terms of having the media ruin their career. Demi Lovato suffered from many issues, from eating disorders to drug addiction. It was all a 5-course meal for the paparazzi. They've been disrespected to the point where the internet makes memes about their substance use. I'm pretty sure you've heard jokes about their heroin relapse, which was revealed in one of their documentaries. Hopefully their new album will change things, because some of the singles are real bangers. The internet can never be kind to people, even when they've done nothing wrong. Sometimes, the media just decides to side with people who didn't do any good either, like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. You don't need an introduction to these two. The opinions have been so divided that you'd be attacked for siding with either of them. But for some reason, the media have tried their level best to make Amber look like a bad person. I'm not trying to get into the details of the lawsuit, mainly because I don't want to say anything wrong. It's a really serious topic, so let's just keep it that way. For argument's sake, new articles, tabloids, headlines, videos, and literally every source of media have nitpicked all the details of the court hearings. Heard became a meme to the public, and the hateful comments were just sad, to be honest. There really isn't any other way to describe it. But this case affected both celebrities, because in the end, Depp is having a hard time finding a role in a movie too. Then again, there was literally a petition to remove Amber from the Aquaman franchise. Basically, whether you've done something bad or not, the media will always be ready to attack and give you no personal space. Also, have you noticed how 99% of the stars on this list have been women? I wonder what the reason for that could be. There you have it, ladies and gents. These are celebrities who have been absolutely ruined by the media.